Hey, Pro Organizers. My name is Melissa Klug, and you are listening to the Pro Organizer Studio podcast. Professional organizing changed my entire life. After 20 years of working at huge companies, I started working for myself. I opened a professional organizing business, grew it to 6 figures, and I never looked back. Now I get to spend all day, every day, teaching organizers around the world how to find clients, how to market and sell yourselves, how to turn this business into what you want it to be. Whether you have been in business for 15 minutes or 15 years, you have a home at Pro Organizer Studio. I'm excited that you're here. Let's get started. Hey everybody, I am pretty sure that we probably have some new listeners this week because I just returned from Austin, Texas, where I was at the How To Summit. This is my second summit and it was awesome. First of all, it was exhausting in just the absolute best ways. You know, those weekends where you're like talking nonstop because you have so many fun, new, interesting people to meet. And I just was able to meet so many people that I maybe have only interacted with online, and just so grateful to everyone who was there. I gave a presentation on Saturday and it was awesome to get feedback from that. And if you are a new friend of mine from the How To Summit, please remember to reach out to me. You can email me, hello@proorganizerstudio.com, or DM me on Instagram, and I would love to keep in touch with you. Also, if you were at the summit and you didn't come up and say hi, or I had a couple people who were like, oh, I didn't get a chance to catch you, please reach out to me on social or on email. I would love to chat with you. Here's what we're doing on the podcast today. I'm giving you like a little bit of bonus. I did a panel at the summit with Blair Nastri, who's the head of marketing for Erin Condren, with Liz Wann and Cindy Huzenmen, who are professional organizers. And I was able to record it, and I wanted to give that to you if you weren't able to be there, or if you were there but you want to revisit some of the things we talked about. So before we get started though, I will say this is a live recording and I did as much audio magic as I could, but it definitely is not the typical sound quality that I would love. I just urge you to kind of stick with it. The first couple minutes are maybe a little dicey and you're going to be like, Melissa, I cannot believe that you put this into my ears today, but just stick with it. It definitely gets better, and there is some really great content that I want to make sure that if you weren't able to be at the summit, that you're able to feel like you were there a little bit. Also, just FYI, the summit next year is going to be in Dallas, Texas, around the same time frame, in the kind of mid to late September time frame. So mark it on your calendar because it's just the most uplifting, wonderful event to be around such awesome organizers. The reason I was exhausted is because I came home with like 70 billion ideas of things I wanted to do and, you know, people that I wanted to connect with and everything. So I really would love for you guys to make it, to put it on your calendar for next year. All right, so here is the marketing panel. Again, please stick with me on the audio. I swear it gets better. And you get a half an hour of marketing expertise from some great professional organizers and from a professional marketer. And also, just really quickly, before I forget, I have a brand new free workshop. It is called How Professional Organizers Can Get Clients Without Social Media. And you can get that at POroadmap.com. And if you want me to send you a link, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can send me an email and I will get you into that. All right. Have a wonderful day, organizers.
All right. We are so excited about this next session. Blair Nastri is the head of marketing for Erin Condren. She has years of experience in the marketing world and is bringing that wealth of knowledge to us today. Joining her on stage is Liz Wann, Melissa Klug, and Cindy Huzenmen. Let's give them a warm How To Summit welcome right now.
Back. Okay. Is this on? Okay. While we're gathering and sitting, I just want to tell like a super quick story. So last night we had a gathering of all of the lovely people that came here with me, and we were in the Westin bar. And at the end of the night, I'm like signing my check, and I just say to the bartender, "Hey, thanks. I know there were like a lot of people here, and it's like a lot for you guys to handle. And you probably weren't ready for it." And he's like, no, he's like, everyone's like really nice, and we're all this really orderly line. Like, and I was like, oh, well, dude, here's the deal. We're all professional organizers. And he goes, yeah, someone told me that, but I didn't think they were serious. And I was like, no, we're
just want to do, can we do 20-second introductions of everyone? Who you are, what you do.
I talk about it. So I'm Cindy from Psychology. I'm originally from Panama, but I lived in the United States, Miami, Florida for about 27 years. It's nice meeting you all. Nice to see you.
My name is Liz, and I am from Orange County, California. I'm supposed to organize a company, and I'm so excited to be here again. I only missed one home store conference, and it's because I had a baby 2 days before the conference. I literally was planning on going. I thought I didn't because I was at a baby at the conference. We were going to prepare for that. Hi, I'm Blair. I am the head of marketing for Erin Condren. I live here in Austin, Texas, but I'm originally from Los Angeles, born and raised in LA. Just got here 2 years ago. I am super excited to be here to talk about marketing. I've been with Erin Condren for over 10 years. Started as a consumer and then joined the brand side. Super excited to be here to talk about all that kind of things.
Fantastic. Okay, so what I want to start with is Blair. We're going to get a how-to summit MBA. Can you give us, this may sound like we're starting simply, but a definition of what marketing is and what's the difference between marketing and sales for small business owners?
Marketing would be how you can describe yourself and the value that you bring. I would say the most important thing about marketing would be what is knowing how to clearly identify your brand and what differentiates you from other brands. What is your competitive advantage, if you will. If you can't tell me in one sentence what you do and why you do it well and why you do it differently than other people, that's going to be really hard to make a sale. You need good marketing. You need to market yourself efficiently in order to get the sale. The sale can't come unless you can efficiently market. So that's kind of the biggest difference is marketing. And marketing kind of gets a bad rap sometimes. It's like a soft skill. When I was getting my MBA, a lot of people were not in marketing. And people don't know it's the current that's beneath a lot of the other stuff. It's extremely important for you to close sales, see results, and really be able to differentiate yourself on the market.
When I was in business school, there was a guy who was like heavy manufacturing guy, and he legit said like, we don't need people like you. I make the things, I actually do something, and I'm like, no one's gonna buy your things if you don't have me. And he was a jerk, but anyway. Yeah, that's a great definition. And I also like what you said about if you can't explain what you do in one sentence. So a lot of people call that an elevator pitch, but you have to say it really simply. Liz and Cindy, can you tell us what does marketing mean in your business?
Marketing for me is maybe a little different. I use social media as my main marketing. 85% of my business comes from social media. Sorry.
It's okay. We need to be rest. It's all right.
But marketing, has to go. We have to put 100% of ourselves, not only face it on social media because it doesn't work for all. I agree 100% with what you said yesterday. What works for me may not work for you. We're in different times. It's an ever-changing platform. Use as much as you can. I didn't use social media when I started. I went door to door, literally knocking. I went on kitchen companies. I went on closet companies. I said, use me. Let me try. I'll work for free in your company. I'll do your styling of your business. Or you can sell me new customers. I work at a container store. I started 13 years ago, and we didn't have a container store in Miami until, 8 years ago. So when I finally got mine, I knocked on that door and I said, please hire me. Tell all of your clients I will walk around the container store asking people, do you need an organizer? and I did. And one of the things that actually worked for me was in one of those kitchen companies, I said, I have an idea for you. Try me. And when you sell these $150,000, $200,000, these very expensive kitchens, rather than just giving them a bottle of champagne, give me as a gift. I'm worth more, but you don't have to pay that much. At least try me, and to say thank you to your client, give me and try me. And that worked amazing because I not only got clients, but I also got designers, architects, and all of them get to know me.
I just want to say, I feel like we should be really careful when you say give me as a gift.
I meant it.
Everyone else was thinking it, I just said it.
I speak Spanish, that's my first language. Take it as it comes.
Okay, so when it comes to marketing, I know a lot of people get overwhelmed by that word. I want to let you know, it really is simple. It really is. You just have to do something. So I think a lot of times it's easy to be like, I don't want to do that because it makes me feel uncomfortable or it just feels like so overwhelming. So
change the wording, and then I do something with that flyer. I do direct mail marketing. So I write letters to people and mail it to their neighborhood. I connect with other business owners in my area. So your community is really important. So I connect with business owners in the community to let them know about our services and how we can help them. You kind of have to do a lot of things. I am on social media, but that is not an end-all be-all. You can get business without that, but you have to kind of do a lot of things. But it really isn't that complicated. You just have to do it and stay consistent. That's my biggest thing when it comes to success. Is just have to be consistent. And if someone's not returning your emails or your texts or whatever you're doing, just keep trying. It's not a no until they say no. I'm like one of those people where I'm like, okay, I know it can feel like rejection hurts, right? When someone's not returning your phone calls, I always say, oh my gosh, they must have died. Because they haven't returned a single email, phone call, or anything. That's the explanation. And it all works out, so you just go on.
So obviously you work with, I assume, a lovely budget at Erin Condren, which is maybe a little bit more than some of the budgets that we are working with. Can you give us some options for, so maybe some of the things that you do at Erin Condren, but how can we use those things to our advantage as professional organizers?
Yeah, and so I started 11 plus years ago. And when I started in the LA office, it was very small. The brand was very small. The team was very lean. There were only 20 of us. We didn't start paid advertising until 2017 era, 2017-ish, and this was, 2013. All of our marketing efforts were much different than they are now. So I've been able to see us kind of scale them. But at the start of it, what we would do with things like stationery, for example, if you have anything that you're getting out, if you don't have a significant margin on that product, if we were printing stationery note cards and we were selling them in a set of 20, let's say, or 24, we would throw in 5 extra because the cost for that paper was not substantial enough that surprise and delight outweighed the cost. So if you can give extra, if you can do something to surprise and delight them that's not going to really affect your bottom line, absolutely do it. We would write handwritten letters and customer orders for their 5th order or their 10th order. If you can reward loyalty and make them feel special and seen and appreciated, that goes a long way. And when you build a customer's loyalty from the start, that is invaluable if you can keep them loyal to you and keep them coming back. I would say things like that, if you can really go above and beyond and have that incredible customer experience from the start, that's going to serve you well for years down the line, because people like to talk about feelings. They like to feel special and they like to tell other people about that happening to them. And so that organic word of mouth, that really worked well for us. We also give refer a friend, pay it forward cards in orders to try to encourage them to tell other people. Obviously, we're a stationery company, so everything that we had was branded with our name on it. So that was another reason. It was like, give them more. They send a letter to their friend, and their friend likes the stationery. It has our logo on it. It was kind of free marketing for us. So a lot of that that kind of mentality really in the early days worked really well for us and definitely helped. And I would say in today's climate, because things were obviously different then in terms of social media, things like that, if you can trade services for, a post, if you don't have the money to pay someone, I know a lot of content creators want and should be compensated for their content, but if you can't do that, if you offer to organize something for them, give them free products, let them try you out, and then authentically review. Authenticity is so key right now in all content. So even though something is gifted, if they weren't paid for their content, I still think the authenticity rings true in what they're creating. So those are a couple different things I think we've done along the way before we had a large budget that really had an impact.
Can you talk a little bit more about authenticity, because that's a word that I'm kind of obsessed with these days, and just talk about its role in business and how personal that you can be and how authentic you can be and why that's important.
I mean, I think, it's such a tough line to straddle where we're trying not to be overly consumer, but we're still trying to make sales. So it's how do you push people to buy things that are maybe discretionary, they don't absolutely need, but it's really hard to try to do that, right? And I think we're realizing as people are being more aware of this culture and trying to not just push something on Amazon that people should buy, how do I authentically tell them, no, you're buying this one planner, service, whatever, because it's going to serve you every single day to make your life easier easier, better, more productive, less stressful. It's a one-time investment in a year-round return on your own productivity and happiness. And when we distill that message, and I talk to like our affiliate group, people that are creating content, and I'm like, I don't need you to just be saying, oh, they just launched new pens, they just launched new notebooks. I don't want you to be pushing every single thing, because it's not authentic that someone's ready to buy every time you drop a new product. But if you can authentically tell them, hey, this is the one purchase I made last year that I have zero regrets because I am way less stressed, I'm on top of my schedule, I'm productive, I'm happy, that I believe. And so I say, be as authentic as you can in your content, because we are no longer believing that we need to buy every single thing that people are pushing with their link in bio. Authenticity is absolutely essential, and I think that translates to just better sales and a better response in general.
This is a really specific question, but how do you do the balance of like the hard selling? So like, you know, let's just say it's a social media post or it's something that you're doing. What is your line between just we're doing a post to do a post, or we're doing something just to say, here's who we are, versus I want to tell you about this thing that I have that you can buy?
I mean, it's really, really hard. And for us, where we kind of draw the line, it's like we don't do, and this is a very arbitrary line, and for us, like we don't do in-feed posts that are like a graphic that just is advertising a sale. I never want you to just see like 25% off when you're scrolling on our feed. Some people on our team will argue, oh, but we should, because we want them to see it and then we want them to go to the website. I'm like, of course, but I also want them to be getting something valuable. If they're on our feed, if they're scrolling, if they're being served in their preview page, I want them to get something educational about it. We need to be giving them something valuable, a tip, a hack, a way that they can get more out of using this product than just a flat sell. Because to me, there's so much content out there, I need them to see something valuable and have that grab them, and then bonus points if they realize there's a sale. But social media for us is not a huge revenue driver. It's very different, obviously, for different channels, but for us specifically, it's much more of a education, you know, sort of bottom funnel, trying to like get them to brand awareness, understanding. So we approach it a little bit differently. I love that.
Okay, so I am also obsessed with what I call analog marketing. So you have both discussed it, handwriting notes, things like that, some of these non-digital marketing efforts. Can you talk about this?
Yeah, I feel like personalizing it is so important. It's the fact that authenticity, connection, that human touch that I think we miss a lot of these days. And so like, it's easy. After you have a consultation with someone, whether it's on the phone or in person, take 5 minutes and write them a handwritten note and put it in the mail. And I promise you, either they may not hire you because they can afford you, but they're going to tell their friends about you. Like that's going to mean more to them than someone else, right? Like it's so valuable to do something like that. It's thoughtful. Every time we go to a project too, we leave a handwritten note, thank you note, and a little gift. But marketing, you make it personal, right? Like we used to leave branded cookies, and they would be like, oh, what a hard day it was, and now they're drinking their coffee, and then they feel special, and then there's so many pictures. So it's just that little added touch that we have a connection and have that relationship, and they're going to continue to come back because we're different, because we're human, and we're showing them that human side. So I think it's old school, honestly. It really works. And we even leave posters after we finish a project. Take 10 minutes, walk the neighborhood, drop flyers, and it says, I just organized your neighbor's home. Because those neighbors are going to be talking, who kept their home organized? Tell me about it. Like, you gotta get creative, and it's really that simple. Get some exercise, and you gotta let them know it's super easy.
I don't like calling it old-fashioned, I like calling it vintage. That makes it more special. Cindy, I know that you are more of a, like, you're an amazing, amazing online presence. Do you have any analog things that you do, or do you keep everything online?
Well, I'm a dinosaur, so
You're not a dinosaur.
I write things, everything. I don't even have a digital. I do the cookie thing. I give a gift. I give them incentives to call me again. And more than that, I build a relationship. It's very important. I know there's people that like to walk in a house and be ghosts and like your house magically organized and kind of see there and disappear. But I don't. I make a presence because most of the response from my clients is, we miss you and your team. the music, the energy that you guys brought to this house was incredible. So I try to build that relationship. I speak to them. I mean, I don't become friends or go have a wine, but I could if they asked me to. But it's kind of like building that relationship, because not only will they call you back, but they will tell their friends, they will tell their neighbors, they will tell everybody. And also, like I said, the incentives, we don't have to give anything for free. I don't have to give them a discount, but I do tell them, you know, if you tell 5 friends, I'll give you whatever, 15% off the next fix. Kind of like that. They do it. They actually do it. And I've seen the difference when we have to rush out of a project because we have something nice, and I forget to do that. I see the difference.
So this is another How to Summit MBA question for Blair, but the difference between the cost of acquisition of a brand new client versus an existing client, but I think one of the things organizers need to think about is how do you leverage people who have already used your services? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the cost of acquiring a new customer is significantly more expensive than a returning customer. If you can leverage that, we are constantly trying to leverage is like, and also the AOV, like their average order value in our speak, but how much they're going to spend with you is dramatically going to increase if they get a second purchase. So like if they come back for a second organization project, if they come back to you multiple times, their lifetime value is going to grow exponentially. So managing that loyalty and trying to keep them loyal to you is extremely important. And you know, when you have to worry about winning them back, you know, retention, lapsed customers, winning them back on the e-com side, that's an extremely expensive project. So you want to keep them active, even if they're not currently working on a project with you, just keeping them warm. I don't know if you send Christmas cards or how you keep them engaged or remembering who you are, but that is crucial that they don't forget that you are top of mind, because it just, the longer it goes, you know, the more expensive it's going to be, the harder it will be to get them back in the funnel.
You talked a little bit about referrals. Do you have any sort of like active referral program with existing clients referring other people?
I did in the beginning. I think a lot of times too, as you grow in your business, it's okay to make changes. It's okay to say, that worked for me then, it doesn't work for me now. So in the beginning, my first client situation that I got, it was because I asked my first client, I asked her to post on the mom's Facebook group in her neighborhood. It's like a very active page. And I asked her, can you please include some photos? If you do this, I will give you $30 off. I don't know what I was doing. $30 off your bill. Like, ooh. But she did it. And I got 10 clients from it. 10 paid clients from it. Then again, when I got those 10 clients, I said, can you guys, and I had it up it, can you guys write a review and put photos on your Facebook page, and then I'll give you $50 off. Right? They did it. That was my referral program, and I kept on doing it. And so my first 6 months, I was slammed because I asked, and they did it. And I used a referral program, $50, not a big deal at the time, for them to be incentivized. Now I don't. I work with other businesses, closet companies or garages, and we refer each other business. But I don't discount my services anymore. But there's a time and a place where you may need to do that, and that offers more incentives.
Do you have anything that you do for anything extra that you do that you love? Like if there have been people that you have thought maybe wouldn't prefer you and you were very surprised at it?
Well, I reach out. I'm on the entrepreneur side. I've always done it, and no matter how many years I'm in the business, I still do it because there's always room to grow. And what I think is that we should never be afraid, because the worst thing that can happen when we spoke about this is to say no. And no, it's a window closed, but then another door opens. So I've never been afraid to reach out, whether it's, on social media or just an email or somebody that I saw. Even an interview on TV, I go, you know what, I'm going to reach out to them. It's easy. Google right now will get you anywhere. I find an email, I find the company, I find whoever it is that I need to find, and I say, hey, by the way, this is me. Look at me. I have a social media, I have a website, I have history. How do you read?
I want to share one funny story when you mentioned that. The whole thing about asking, you just gotta ask. You gotta go big. I remember my first year, I was sitting and I was watching The Bachelorette. I don't watch that show anymore, but at the time I did. And I was watching The Bachelorette, and I told my husband, I want to respond. And then I like start looking on social, you know, a couple days later, nothing happened. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, I'm just gonna email her. So I email, nothing. 4 months later, I got a call, and I helped her. I laughed at my husband, hey, you said I couldn't do this, and look what I did, because I asked. And then I did it multiple other times to people that I thought would never respond to me, and they responded because I asked. It's just as simple as watching a show and typing in a message. And I, on my phone, will keep a message that I had made very like personal and kind and nice, and I have a draft on my phone, and not in line somewhere, because we're always in line somewhere, or waiting in a car somewhere. I copy and paste into Instagram. Use Instagram as a tool for marketing. It doesn't have to be something that you're on every day. Use it as a tool. I will reach out to the top of the top realtors in my area, send them the DM, and then we will schedule a time for coffee through that. Then I start following them, and I'll message them about nothing to do with organizing. And then we become friends on Instagram. Never met in person, and so we schedule that, you know, in-person time to talk. And now they refer me business. Sometimes I don't even have a chance to meet them, but I send them packages and we talk about it on Instagram. They send me business because I asked for it. It's just that simple, you know?
Well, that kind of leads into something. We had a very lively conversation yesterday, the three of us. So I probably should have just recorded it because it was really good. It was really good, you guys. But Blair, can you talk to us a little bit? Actually, all three of you talk to us a little bit about the concept of consistency. And one of the things that I see a lot and I hear a lot, and we talked about it, was, you know, you don't have enough clients, you're not feeling good about your business. What have you done today? What have you done in line for coffee, whatever? Can you talk about consistency?
Yeah, for us, it's obviously a little bit different, but making sure that we, like when I hear consistency on the e-com side, because my job really involves making sure that no matter what channel you're getting an ad, you're getting an email, you're getting a text, you're on a website, no matter what channel you're getting a consistent, same, cohesive brand experience, brand message, brand viewpoint. So that's what I'm looking for. It's like, I'm making sure that my team is delivering the right message to the right person at the right time, and that they are all being consistent with what we want you to understand. But from a consistency side, are you doing all the things that you should be doing to get business? I would say, like, when we were starting out and we were smaller, it looked a lot like, for me at least, running our numbers, what revenue were we at 10 a.m. that day, what could we do to get more revenue that day. So it wasn't like, okay, we need to post something on social in order to hit our numbers. Are people not seeing that, like, we launched this collection? Have we sent an email? Should we maybe do a smaller email to our top customers, like our Rose Gold loyalty program, and not even do a designed email, but just do like a personal email that's like, hey, wanted you to hear it from me, we launched something new, let me know. We did a lot of like personal shopping at the start when we had these big customers and we were a smaller business, and for many years, even when we grew, these customers still thought they could just like email us to order, and it was like, who's gonna tell them? But we would do that a lot. We would fulfill orders for people like that they could just place on the website. We would just do it for them for years. Just trying to make sure that you are checking all those boxes, and really on our side, what you said about the bachelorette story reminded me. I tell my team, I'm like, if there's a pie in the sky influencer, someone you feel like really needs to be telling her 5 million followers about Erin Condren and the planners and everything that she uses for her kids, I'm like, we know her kids' names, send a box to her office if we can't get her, we can't find her home address when she's not responding. Her office is public. We know where her office is. Send a box of planners and kids' planners and personalized handwriting notepads for her kindergartner. Like, make it thoughtful, make it very apparent that we did the research and we customized a beautiful personalized package for her family. Worst case scenario, someone in her office takes it home and uses our notebooks. I'm like, best case scenario, she's touched and her kids like it and she posts about it and 5 million people can potentially see it. We always will try to do something, but when you customize it, when you make it, you know, special, the possibility of getting a return is much bigger. And I totally deviated from your question.
No, it's great. You can deviate all you want. I don't care. How about consistency? What does consistency look like in your professional organizing business?
It's everything. It really is. And it's one of those concepts that I think, again, can feel overwhelming because it's really just that simple. You just got to do a little bit every single day, right? And maybe it's at lunchtime if you're on a project and you don't have time to do it before or after. That's what I would always do when I was in projects. I'd be texting, calling people at lunch. Whatever you got to do, you know? But
consistency is really important, and you just can't stop, because once you take your foot off the gas, you're going to see, and it's going to affect your business. So it's just slow and steady, but it's important.
I think that consistency also needs to be focused. We spoke about it. Again, that great conversation, the shoes should all be there.
We're really sorry.
It's about focus, but and I say from personal experience, I focus on 1 million things at a time. I said, oh, I want to be there, and I want to do this, and I want to grow into this, and I want to get to do this, and I want to do everything at the same time, and I accomplish absolutely nothing. So I think the consistency is also focusing on that one priority and doing that. And once you get to do that, then follow for the rest. Because otherwise, even though we are super organized, I don't think that our brain is capable of accomplishing all that. Though we're very ambitious, I don't think we can make it. And congratulations to the one that made it all at the same time. Please don't talk to me and teach me some things, because it's hard. So I think that focus, be consistent on that. When you accomplish that goal, go for the next.
I would also say too, like there are a million things you could do, and it's very easy to say, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed, or favorite word, because there are a million things I could do, and so then you do none of the things. You do 0 of the things instead of just one of the things. There are so many things to pick from. How do you decide what are the things that you want to do, and what are the things that are going to get that priority time?
On my side, it's looking at the return, like what possibly, like yes, we could all scramble to include a marketing card, and you see that this literally happened a couple days ago. I was like asked to, fast track like a marketing card that we can include a pop-up we were doing, and I was like, okay, what is this going to pull? What resources will I have to pull my team off of to make this happen? What is the potential return of this card? Does it absolutely have to happen for this game? The season, just started a couple weeks ago. And so you kind of have to weigh, like, what would you be missing out on if you took time off to do that? And what potential return could you see there? But it is hard. And I would say on the overwhelmed side of things, this is my pitch, my personal pitch for a weaker planner, if you're not using them, because that's how I have to realistically, like, obviously I use a digital calendar, we all do, but like, I have to physically write. If I know I have a ton of stuff going on that week, I have to physically see how I'm going to break it down into each day, and then how many meetings I have in that day, because that is how my brain works, and that is the only way that I can see like how I will possibly get things, because otherwise we will just absolutely spin. So that's personal pitch that everybody needs to be a planner.
Yeah, and then if you write everything down, you can have a breakdown more easily about how many things you have to do. And you can see it all written out. Yeah, it's visualized. Right. So sort of like the Oscars, we are being played off the stage with silent music, but I just want to say I came up with a great idea. You guys want to hear it? Okay, in the analog marketing thing, which I really do love, you can buy from Erin Condren a home sort planner. Leave a lovely note for your clients at the end of their project, and then they have a paper planner from our lovely hosts. Your store is beautiful, by the way, so beautiful. And then you can leave your clients all that nice stuff to keep them organized and remind them that you're around. All right.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
I don't think I've spoken enough. And please don't let me off topic. I just want to say thank you to our hosts. I know it's been said, but this is incredible. I've been here this time, my 100th year, and I've seen these girls grow and be the nicest, most humblest people in the world. They ask all of us for feedback. They implemented the year after. They are incredible, and I am eternally thankful to them for being so special.
They are the loveliest human beings.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
I have a brand new free workshop called How Professional Organizers Can Get Clients Without Using Social Media. It is available on demand 24/7 at PORoadmap.com. That is a wrap on this week's Pro Organizer Studio podcast. I will see you next week. Have a great day, organizers.